YouTube, how the heck you doing? This is Corey Earth Watcher Rums. I tried to record this video like 20 seconds ago and I just threw up. So I had to just book it, right? But anyways, we are here on the test server. I usually don't do test server videos. I don't necessarily know why. I guess I just usually don't care to go on the test server account that I have. I have two of them, right? So basically, we have something that is pretty cool here. We have Ezareth, who is now in the game. There are two things that I necessarily want to do. First and foremost, I just kind of want to highlight really quickly. This is like his max BP. It's really difficult to get him any higher than what we currently have him as. Like, it's just kind of how it is, right? He is in that 112, 113 mark. He is A5, and we also have a Yovar here that's directly for like comparison. Drastic difference. If anything, I would say Ezareth in terms of BP, if you're looking for like guild v guild or something like that, or like arena BP fixing, he's kind of like on the same plane as like Araka. And mind you, this is an A5 Ezareth, and if I were to show you the gear, it's basically maxed out. Obviously this can be improved a little bit, but if we're to go through his actual like gear, he's pretty stacked overall, right? We got basically max rolls on everything. Also, one thing that's really interesting about Ezareth is, in particular, he kind of likes like a mixed bag of stats. Like, he's very defense slash HP bonus heavy when it comes to these like substats. I don't necessarily know why, but he's very similar in terms of BP maxing to like what a Uridan would be, where Uridan kind of really prefers to go ahead and get defense bonus in particular. It's kind of like Uridan's thing. I don't know why, but Ezareth is kind of in a similar boat. I guess that may be like a cultist thing because both of them are cultist units. But yeah, just one quick note for that. Now, one of the things that I really want to just explore is just super quick in this preliminary video, because I'm obviously going to do some hardcore testing on him and like what he does later down the line. But I'm just going to go over his stats, and then secondly, I really want to test a very specific interaction with him and the Grotesque Fiend, because obviously I'm a guild v guild guy, right? That's what I care about. So I want to see if he has the ability to one-shot the Grotesque Fiend. That'd be kind of cool. But basically, let's go into it. So his talent is he specializes in draining life force from the weak and converting into dark spores to aid the caster in battle. Now, the dark spores, they stack up 5 times. Carrying it grants immunity to most debuffs. Going to be really interesting to see like what he can avoid. Like, does he avoid burning, kind of like how Honora does? Does he avoid Winter's Bite? Like, things like that would be a little bit interesting to go and check out. Now, when deployed, he enters the World Destroyer mode. So that's like his first like placement, right? So the World Destroyer mode specifically is a mode of focused combat. If carrying at least 1 stack of dark spores, it consumes that 1 stack to deal 430% AoE damage up to 10 enemies in a large area ahead. This has a 5-second cooldown, so you can stack 5 of them up. I believe is the max dark spores you can have. That means you can do this move 5 times in totality, right? And then when he spawns in, he gets 2. So, okay, makes sense, right? He spawns in, he gets 2 of these, does 2 massive hits, then he goes into like his charge phase, I suppose. Now, let's just go from the top. So he has a similar kind of deal with every single new lord that we get, where, you know, they have their main lord passive and then they have a sub passive, which is beneficial to them specifically in comparison to the other lords. Now, he obviously is going to do, let's see, that's standard. Okay, this is it. So he increases the faction team members' damage by 25%, and when the lord is on the battlefield and an allied summon dies, increases all faction team member damage by an additional 5% for 15 seconds, stacking up to 3 times. So essentially 25% flat bonus, nice, and then you get an additional 15% through those different bonuses. So that's pretty good, like genuinely pretty good. Obviously this only applies to the faction team members. It'll be interesting to see how Beelzebub's summons are classified. Be interesting to see if Beatrix classifies as summons with her Dream Eaters and things like this, but pretty good overall. 40% is definitely nothing to scoff at, especially when you're already looking at a potential 30% boost because all cultists deal some form of CC typically, and then also 15%. So pretty stacked in terms of lore skill. Now let's go to his ultimate. Royal Destroyer mode. We kind of touched on this a little bit. It's those 430% AoE damage hits. And then he has World Devourer mode, which is what I really want to test with the Grotesque Fiend, right? So the World Devourer mode is a mode of focused recovery. When the Dark Spores is not in full stacks, he devours one allied summon in the basic attack range or one enemy. This might actually, hold on. Ineffective against allied special summons or elite and boss enemies. We'll see what classifies as an elite. If the Grotesque Fiend does classify it as elite, then this is kind of just like a showcase video. But yeah, we'll just go ahead and see, because that would be interesting for sure. He goes ahead, restores caster HP 35%, and gains 1 stack of Dark Spores. After devouring an ally summon, additionally gains 1 stack and takes 2 seconds to trigger again. After devouring an enemy, it takes 10 seconds. Okay, so basically he really wants to eat summons, if anything. It's nothing too crazy there. His normal damage, 120% AoE, 8 enemies at a time. That's pretty good. It's that Nezha range, which is kind of becoming more common, I would say. Or at least I can see it becoming more common. Proper way of saying that. So decent. He is magic damage, so that's interesting. World Destroyer mode, special attack, which is Dinner Bell. Skill passive. World Destroyer mode, special attack, inflicts magic vulnerability. Is nice, 25%, so that's really nice, on the target, and executes enemies with HP below 30%. Okay, so he really is like a Uridan, but better in some ways. Like, this is very similar to Uridan's skill. And then his other passive, Insatiable Maw, when carrying Dark Spores, increases attack and damage reduction by 20%. Okay, and then when triggering World this Devourer mode, good God, words are hard. Devourer effect deals 200% AoE damage up to 8 enemies around the target and inflicts stun on them. Okay. And then if he takes out a devoured target and his allied summon, restores 5% rage to its owner, and if the owner belongs to the Cursed Cult faction, restores an additional 10% rage. Okay. Nothing too crazy. When World Destroyer, his A1 is when World Destroyer's mode special attack is triggered, increases the AoE damage by 15% and for the hero and all allied mages on the field for 8 seconds. Okay. So when he does his like massive hits, his 430% hits, increases the AoE damage by 15% for him and the allied mages. Honora says hello. That's standard, 5% AoE. Well, specifically AoE damage. That's good. A 3 is every 2 triggers of World Devourer's mode, Devourer effect grants an extra 1 stack. Okay, so that's going to help him get to 5 stacks really quickly. So basically, if you trigger twice, you're at 3 stacks. Okay, that makes sense. So basically, it just means like you cycle your 3 hits quicker. This is nice. Penetration, 8%. That's his A4. And then his A5 is World Destroyer's mode. Special attack ignores 50 or 25% magic resist. Okay. So the reason why I said 50 is because I was automatically stacking up his other passive where he ignores 25. Okay. So basically he's supposed to hit like an AoE nuke. But let's go ahead and go into the main thing that I really want to test, which is how does he necessarily function with the Grotesque Fiend? Because that's what I'm interested in. So let's go build a random team super here. Go ahead and do deploy. And then let's just put like Ryzen as team 1. So we can actually go ahead and set this up and it doesn't kick us out. Let's go ahead and put him on a random tile. I believe this is a Season 8 map or something like that that's on the test server, so Yeah. Go ahead and load this up. There we go. Horizon's there. Now we can go ahead and build the team that we're really trying to look at. I'm just going to go put a tank, and I'm going to put Ezareth, and then probably just like a random healer, because I don't necessarily want anything dying. Yeah, I don't want anything dying. So, where's Ezareth? Ezareth is going to be here. He's going to be the Lord. We're going to grab a lovely Brokir that I believe is geared. And then do we have Carnelian? Well, of course I have Carnelius, the test server. But do I have her geared is the real thing. Let me do it like this. Support. Boom. Here's my A3 Karn. That's not built. Let's just do a quick equip. Whatever. Awesome. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and test this and see how well this works. Gotta repick everything. I hate when it does this. Makes my life so much harder. Brokir, and then Karn. Okay. All right, let's go ahead, set this up. We're just going to do a standard build here. I'm also just going to low fill the Grotesque Fiend because I don't necessarily want it getting one shot. I imagine that's real. Actually, better yet, why don't we do it like this? Boom. Whatever. Save settings. All right, we're going to go attack this. I'm going to low fill the Grotesque Fiend because I don't necessarily need it to be like a full 129k Yovar. Like, not necessary. Let's see where we go from here. So, perfect. Don't need to update anything. Solo practice. Attack this team. Definitely don't need Glacius. Actually, you know what? It wouldn't hurt. It actually wouldn't hurt. I'll do that at a second little strat. But basically, here's a Grotesque Fiend. And let's do here. Also, wait. I'm trolling. We could do it like this. We can test 3 separate things if we just do. Yeah. And yeah, we're good. Run it. Because I want to see first, does he get frozen from Winter's Bite? Second, I want to see if he gets burned. That means there's 2 debuffs that are off the field. Because, at least for Gilby Guild, right? Let's see here. Zoom out. So he has 2 stacks. This is because he is just spawned in. Let's do the Frost Guardian. Let's see if he goes ahead and inflicts Winter's Bite on him. Okay, so it looks like he... Is he immune? It does look like he's immune to Winter's Bite. Interesting. He is immune to Winter's Bite. Which means... I'm inclined to believe that he's probably immune to the fire. Test server, thank you. Sometimes the test server doesn't like me. All right, let's see. Is he immune to being burned? That's kind of like the next thing here. Brokir's burning. He is also immune to burning. Interesting. Awesome. Well, that's good. That's like a really good sign. All right, and then let's do the final test here. I want to see if he will just go ahead and basically one-shot the Brokir. Not the Brokir, the Grotesque Fiend. But I don't suspect so because I imagine the Grotesque Fiend is classified as an elite, kind of similar to how these other 2 units were classified as an elite They didn't just get one shot, so nice if he could one shot it though. Get it to 50%. Uh, okay. So it does not classify. Um, so basically, it looks like, at least from this, he is resistant to Winter's Bite. He is resistant to burning, both huge. But he can't one shot like Grotesque Fiends or any legendary units that are Demon Soldiers. So, I mean, genuinely speaking, he might have some viability. Like, maybe he's the one that makes the Cultist team, like, really popular as a form of, like, damage dealing. But it would have been really cool if we could have taken out the Grotesque Fiend. So, overall, I mean, I'm going to do some more hardcore testing and just, like, build some really meta comps and see if he's that good. But as it stands, I would say, is he going to change the meta? Yes. There's a possibility. I would say yes. I think he might be the answer to create some cultist team. However, because of his inability to hit air, from what it looks like, from some other things that I've seen, I think you're going to need to really rely on some other units to help you out with that. So overall, I like him. He's a wait. I'm curious about something. Was he gaining stacks? Wait, 1, 2. He used both stacks. Does he gain a third? Okay, so it looks like he's like self-gaining stacks. Interesting. Wait. So it looks like he gains those stacks independently, even though he doesn't kill it. Okay, well, either way, I don't think he's going to change the meta that much. He's not going to be like the best in slot, but I do think he's going to open up cultist teams, and you're going to rely on your AoE magic damage dealers that are like Anora, things like this, to help you out with those anti-air strats. But overall, I think he's pretty effective. Anyways,